So the session is called An Introduction to Design Systems. Obviously, this is a very vast topic, but I would like to take this opportunity to cover the, the basic or the core foundation of this design system. So on today's session, we'll be mainly covering these points. First, we'll be speaking about the definition of a design system, what a design system is. Then we will cover some, we'll be covering the importance of a design system for any product or digitally focused companies. And third, we'll be discussing about building blocks of a design system. Again, here we'll be covering only the core blocks. Then we will be also speaking about a design system's workflow. How a optimum workflow should be. Then we will quickly see some challenges in implementing a design system, especially while implementing a new design system to a already established digital product. And finally, I'll be dealing with any questions that needs to be addressed. Okay. So definition of a design system. So what exactly is a design system? So I'll be starting with the basics. So a design system is a collection of reusable components and guidelines that create a unified look and consistent user experience across the product. So a design system is nothing but a source of truth, where all the guidelines and components that will be used within a digital product will be served and used to build. So these reusable components are like building blocks used to create various sections in the digital product. A design system ensures consistency, efficiency, and scalability. So on the following slides, I'll be, showcasing some of the interesting quotes from famous people about the design system. So this is from Brad Frost, who wrote the famous book Atomic Design, and he is also, he's the one who popularized the atomic design principle. I am sure that most of us will be at least, familiar with this atomic design concept. So he again says the same. A design system is a series of components that can be reused in different combinations to solve different problems related to user experience. So when we say a design system actually is a much more wider topic. The series of components that can be reused is only a very small part of the actual design system. Just wanted to mention that. Then this is from Nathan. He is a design systems advocate. So he says a design system is a single source of truth, which groups all the elements that will allow the team to design, realize, and develop a product. And finally, this is my favorite quote. So he says, Ethan says, a design system isn't a project. It's a product serving products. So why this is my personal favorite is, a design system, building a design system can never be a side project. It should be treated like a product, design itself. It is actually a complex and a delicate task. So it should be treated like a separate project, not as a side project that is supporting a digital product. The next slide speaks about the importance of design systems. First and the foremost, and again my personal favorite, is the consistency. So imagine this, we are creating a bucket of different buttons, forms, text fields, drop downs, and other various UI elements like, models, pop-ups, all those things. And we are putting everything in a bucket. So this bucket works like a reusable space. From there, user can, or the product owner can pick the various components and construct different digital product So the advantage here is all the elements are saved in a common bucket. So whenever a user or an editor comes and creates a new product from this bucket using these components, the consistency is assured because everything comes from a single source of truth. So this says design system ensure a uniform look and feel, by guarding this visual and functional consistencies. So consistency is very important because it contributes to user familiarity. So no surprises while browsing through any digital products, because a pattern is maintained, a consistent pattern is maintained across the product because everything is coming from a single source of truth. So every aspects like navigation and interaction will be more very intuitive and will feel very familiar. Second aspect is it ensures efficiency. So what happens is so when we decide and design a design system, we already have a bucket of reusable components. So the advantage is any future product iterations, any sort of iterations or creations can be quickly constructed from this bucket of reusable components. So the product owners and the owner and the team don't need to think about creating it from the scratch because everything is already created. Obviously, there will be enhancements needed as and when the product expands, but still the foundation will be there to work. So this greatly saves time. Hence, it brings a very good amount of efficiency for any digital products. Third aspect is a collaboration. Again, because there is a single source of truth, any person from the company, a designer, a content owner, some other stakeholders, a QA, anyone will be referring to this single source of truth. And hence there will be a shared knowledge or shared language within the team. So it will be everybody will be in the same page. So this aids for collaboration. We'll definitely speak about the design principles and how it applies and how it applies in the design system when we come to that slide. Lastly, user trust. So this is what happens when the experience is very consistent, when the things are very predictable. By predictable, I will give you an example. Imagine we are giving the submit button on bottom right corner of the screen. If that is set as a standard, then for every screens that will be followed. So what happens is as and when a user uses a digital screen, he subconsciously learns this pattern, and whenever a new screen is being presented, he know where to look for the submit button. So a trust is slowly constructed there. So this greatly aids, this greatly improves the integrity of a brand's, integrity of a brand, because everything is very predictable. So it gives some trust. Then probably the most important part for a UI designer. So this section covers about the building blocks of a design system. Again, a design system consists of very vast, types of components, but I'll be focusing only on the core things. First thing is style guide. So style guide. So under style guide, we have to speak about visual style guides, UX style guides, content style guides. Again, there could be, depending on the companies, there could be many different types of style guides applicable. But for this presentation purpose, I have decided on selecting the first three, which I feel is very important. So the first is the visual style guide. So visual style guide deals with everything that is visual, everything that a user sees when they interact with the product. By that, what I meant is I can maybe give some example. So color is one of the most important aspect of a visual brand. Then, the grids, layout grids, how the elements are being organized within a page across various breakpoints, and how the baseline grid or vertical rhythm is handled, how the iconography is presented, what style is being used. Are we going with a thin and elegant icon or a strong, bold, filled icon? All those things. So everything that is related to the branding, the character of a product will be handled in this visual style guide document. Then there is UX style guide. UX style guide deals with the best practices, related to the user experience. For example, if a help article is being presented within a system, how it will be presented, where will the image will be, where will be the CTS placed, how the elements will be organized intuitively. All those things will be guided by the UX or user experience style guide. Third speaks about the content style guide. Content style guide is nothing but it actually deals with the written content within a design system. So it covers aspects such as tone of voice. Is the product using a friendly tone of voice to present its ideas, or is it using a formal language? Depending on the brand, there will be a specific tone of voice set. So those things will be documented in this content style guide. So everything like writing style, grammar, rules, content structure, how the formatting will be done, how the contents hierarchy is handled, all those things will be handled within the content style guide. So I'm stopping this style guide after discussing this content style guide. There are many different style guides applicable, but these are only the main three. Then after style guide, the component library. So component library is a part of the design system which deals with the actual UI elements and patterns derived from those elements. So by UI elements, some examples are the buttons, forms, navigation menus, pop-ups, accordions, sliders, tabs, images, videos, icons. All those things will be created and maintained at this stage. So for this, mainly popular tools like Figma or Sketch will be used at this level. So this is where a UI designer is going to contribute the most. Yeah, and after the elements library, next is the UI patterns. So UI patterns is derived from the UI elements. So a group of UI elements creates a UI pattern, and UI patterns will be used to solve different product problems. For example, a user want to upgrade from a free plan to a paid option. What will be presented there? What model? So if there is a model designed, all the elements that will be used within that model will be derived from the UI elements bucket. The buttons will be preset there, the forms will be preset there, the navigation menus and the padding for the pop-up, all those things will be set at this UI elements level. Those will be reused to create UI patterns. So these UI patterns will be created and preset for various design problems, as solution to various design problems. So some of the examples include menus, forms, some other models, cards, etc. So these are some of the component examples. This is derived from Dell's design system. The website is delldesignsystem.com if anyone want to go and refer. So here what happens is the brand is having the visual style guide tells the designer that this is the blue, which is the brand primary blue for Dell. So the designer will be using that blue to create this component, which is the button. And within that button, there are many variants like compact, regular, relaxed, and these things will be reused to construct the patterns. So one of the key advantages at any stage, at any later stage, if the company want to update its brand color, the designer can simply go to the to his component library and update the color. In this case, the blue. If it get changed to black, one change will reflect across the product. So it becomes super efficient to take care of any sort of future changes. So here I am also showing some drop-down examples and some button states. These are the brand colors, and there are some other colors which will take care of the functional aspects of a button. So this deals with the destructive. For example, this deals with the destructive character of the button. And these are some of the cards example. So again, if the brand, the Dell want to change the card to a different style, for example, they want to remove this rounded corner and make it all sharp. One change that happens in the card will reflect across the product. Yeah, so these are some of the component examples. I have just selected a few. Then the next part is the code library. So once a designer creates a component library based on the style guide, these things will be converted to a proper code. So a code library in a design system is a repository or collection of pre-written reusable code components. So again, the advantage is for any future enhancements, additions or enhancements on the app, we don't have to create anything from the scratch. Everything will be already built and set in this code library. So if a new feature is being built, the developer needs to just pick those buttons and plug it in, and it will just work beautifully. So code library is also one of the most important aspect of a design system. Then there is a guide for handling interactions and animations within a product. So any sort of transition, hover, click, tap effects, any sort of animations, for example, while scrolling, a section appears, or there are some subtle movements within the sections. All those things will be properly documented at this stage. So everything should have a reason, right? So for example, if a model is appearing and it is taking 100 microseconds to appear, that is a rule set by the brand. So if at any future point in time, if a designer or a product person want to add a pop-up, he should be following this exact guideline, which is in this case 100 microseconds. So all those things will be covered. There are many aspects like page load animations, how it will be, how the micro interactions works, how the models or overlays animations appears, and even the loading states, and animation speeding, easing, the style of the animation, all those things will be handled at this stage. Again, this will be greatly guided by the original brand guideline, which we spoke about in the style guide section. So a brand decides what emotion the elements need to evoke in the minds of the user while some effects are happening. So that is one. So one example I can give is, if you happen to open any of the famous mobile interfaces like Android or Apple, it will be very subtle and elegant. But if you go to any sort of fun or activity focused, for example, some of the kids toys websites or some products like that, the style of animation will be very different. So the brand or the character, the identity defines that. So those things should be documented so that it is, future proof. Every new team member will be adding to this, instead of creating a new emotion style. So this deals with the usage documentation. So whatever we have explained till now that comes under the design system, all those things should be properly documented. Why? Because the reason is very obvious. Any future team member, who joins your team should go through this documentation and learn about the reasons behind why these things are being, decided and applied. So it refers to the comprehensive guidance and instructions provided to designers, developers, and other stakeholders on how to effectively implement and utilize the components, patterns, and guidelines outlined within the design system. Next, we'll speak a bit about the design systems workflow, how a design system can be implemented. First and foremost part is the research. A thorough understanding of user needs or preferences and business goals should be there before deciding on before starting with the actual components creation. So, user interviews, stakeholder interviews, all those things should be handled well. And based on those, some informed decision should be made to create the components library. Most of the times a brand will have a visual style guide in place. For example, if you are doing some product for Coca-Cola, obviously they are not going to change the red, right? So easily, so there will be red already predefined. But in some cases, we will also get the opportunity to decide on the brand identity. So at this stage, specifically for that reason, research is very crucial. So make sure that we are getting all the information about their needs and preferences. We should be also speaking, with the business stakeholders so that there is a overlap and, for the between the decisions. So after the research, we can go to the design stage. So at this stage, definitely the user experience or the interactions or specifically said wireframes will be handled at stage, and also the polished designs. So these components and guidelines, all those critical elements will be set at this stage. After design, it goes to the development stage. Again, the design documentation should be referred to create the code components, code repository. After that, it will go to a testing stage where every scenarios are covered, every breakpoints, every touch points, all those things should be very well tested at this stage. Especially for various resolutions like extra large monitors, regular laptops, tablets, various mobile screens, various types of devices that renders the output in different resolutions. All those things should be well tested. And after that, there is this maintenance aspect. So where there is a version control that should be implemented to take care of the tracking. It should be again very well documented, and ideally there should be a system in an online interface or system in place to take care of this or to track this. And lastly, the education or the training. So this is very important when a new team member is being added. A proper training should be done for her or him. And even within the team, there should be some training or education should be done, because after designing a design system, all the key stakeholders should be well trained, under this. So training is also a very important aspect of this workflow. So in this section, we will speak about the some of the challenges in implementing a design system. So the first one, the resistance to change. This is one of the most difficult challenge I had to face during one of my when I had an opportunity to create a design system for a product-related company. So resistance to change. So imagine this: we joined a designer joins a company, and the company is already running a product which is 10 years old, and they want to implement a design system now. So now this is a very tough situation because the company is already running. Users are already using the product. They have a mental model, that matches to the current user experience and the overall visual styling and flow of the product. So they will resist to change. Not just the users, the team within the company itself will resist. Right? You can simply imagine, just imagine this: a product which is having thousands of pages, and one day a designer wanted to, or a stakeholder wanted to change and implement a design system to enhance or make it more efficient. Everybody will simply resist. So this is so one analogy I have is, this is something I have faced personally. Imagine there is a ship, a very large ship going in a particular direction, and somebody is trying to change it. Imagine a single person or a couple of people are trying to change it. Imagine the resistance they will feel because the ship is already on and moving, running. So that is one. And also in some cases, it takes great effort to convince the stakeholders themselves to create a design system and implement within the product. Next is the maintenance. So after designing a design system, how to maintain? How do we take care of the regular updates? How do we take care of the any sort of training or enhancements required? So this should be documented very well, and there is some effort involved. Mostly in few places I have seen that there are dedicated designers who will just do this maintenance. So his designation will be mostly like a design systems designer or something like that. So a maintenance is also one of the core aspect of challenge, one of the challenges that will be faced. Now, how do we solve this, or how do we approach and make it happen? So always start small. So if we take a very big product which is having a great amount of depth and breadth, it will be very difficult to implement the design system in one go. So make sure that we are beginning with the very basic key components. Do a proper audit within the product and create a documentation where all the key components are listed. So when we do the audit, we'll get to know about the patterns the product is currently following, all sort of patterns within the grid, within the pop-ups and all those models, patterns within the form, usage of CTS or assets. All those things should be will be made clear when the audit is properly done. So based on that, after the audit, begin with the start few key components. Then also make sure that at every stage, all the key stakeholders are involved, not just the designers, developers, and other key stakeholders. Even the QA should be there, starting from the first stage, so that everybody is having a smooth sail. And also make sure that at every stage, make sure that the documentation is properly done. So for example, if a group of button sizes are being defined, for example, there is a compact button, there is a regular button, and there is a enhanced or large button. Why those buttons are being created? What is the purpose, or what is the reason for these three different sizes? When to use? all those things should be, so there will be there should be a document there should be a documentation in place to address all these things. So do this at every stage. And third, always aim for iterative improvements. Start with the basics, solve all the foundational aspects first, then slowly improve on that, and make sure that that process is happening continuously. Every day some changes should be pushed. Make sure that is happening. So definitely nobody can actually solve this implementation of design system in one go. So there will be lots of mistakes that will be arising while creating the initial plan, while implementing the initial steps. So expect some frictions and unexpected issues and all, but make sure that iterative improvement is happening across the life cycle. Then this deals with the this showcases some of the real world examples. So I have showcased only 3. There are many that we can pull up from the web, but these are some of the things that I personally follow. So first one is the spectrum from Adobe. So if you can go to this, so anyone want to take a screenshot, maybe take that now just to note these URLs. So spectrum from Adobe deals with so all the design decisions that went through while designing their Adobe XD product can be seen there, at least most of the thing. And it is very minimal, and it actually is very educational. So that is one. Atlassian, if you want to know about some of the expert level things in the design system, go to atlassian.com. This is huge and vast. So make sure you are referring to Atlassian's design system. The URL is atlassian.system. Then lastly, Mixpanel. Again, we can see all the all the examples that we just mentioned, like page components, design principles, types. All those things will be can be seen under this URL. So this covers the core aspects, and a few things I wanted to add is let me just quickly come back to the components library. So this is mostly a visual designer will be focused. That's why I just came back to this slide again. So here there are many things a designer should be considering while trying to create a component library. So let me start with an example. So imagine a user is trying to create a type hierarchy. So always make sure that there are some tools like typescale.com which can assist the designer to decide on a type scale rhythm, which will enhance some visual harmony within the sections. Then if a spacing rule is being set, try to follow the very famous 8-pixel rhythm to define the spacing, vertical spacing. And yeah, some of that are very important at this stage.
Thank you so much, Harish, for taking time for us and bringing to us this interesting session. I could like to thank each and everyone who took their valuable time from the busy day to attend this webinar. So thank you all the volunteers of the IxDF team that worked behind the scenes to make this event happen. Please write to us and let us know how you found the session. We are available on social medias like Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, Clubhouse at IxDF Kerala. You can also write to us at ixdfkerala@hotmail.com. We have an IxDF Kerala community in Interaction Design Foundation website. Hope to see you on next section as we come to you with another webinar. Until that, stay safe and stay tuned. Thank you.